I'm working on a 2015 Mazda 3. This is the manual transmission, and I believe this is the Sport. So basically, customer got a little fender bender, as you can see. So the whole control arm, strut tower, or the shock itself, and sway bar and link, and inner and outer tie rod are bent. So if you want to see all the other videos on how to replace those, I will be posting those up. They're going to be in each individuals, but for the first part we're going to go ahead and replace the control arm, and then so on from there. But at least you'll know how to replace the other parts in this video, or in these videos that are going to be categorized with this car. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, and then comment down below for anything, and then you'll be getting more notifications once you subscribe on future videos that I will be posting up. And then we'll go ahead and start this video right after this intro. We're going to take off the rim first, and then we're going to be using a 21 millimeter. From the jacking up points, I actually jacked it up from the pinch weld. I don't like using the pinch weld, but for my situation, since the lower control arm is all jacked up, the whole car was all bottomed out, so I didn't want to work a little bit more. So we can jack it up from right there, and then put our jack stand on the subframe itself. So as you can see right there, not on the control arm, but on the subframe, depending on which side you're working on. So pretty much what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take off the shock. This is going to be a 19 and then a 17 right here. And then we're going to have to take off the sway bar end link. This is going to be a 14, and then right here there's an Allen. If this gets stuck, you need to use like a wrench and then the Allen to hold this. So the Allen's going to be a 5 millimeter. So right there, you can see that. So yep. And then we're going to go ahead and pop off these pins. And then we're going to go ahead and pop off these pins. And then we're going to pop this guy right off with the flathead screwdriver. And the same thing for right here. We need to get this ABS wire out of the way so that we don't damage that in the process. So first we'll just go ahead and pop off the ABS wire. So basically right here, we'll just go ahead and twist it. Pull it. Just push these pins in. So right here, just these two guys. Let me get that zoomed in. So right here, just these two guys. So you're gonna push one in. So just like that. So you'll push it right in, and that'll release one side, and then same thing for the opposite side, you'll do that. Well, when you push in, you will kind of tilt it back so it doesn't pop back into place, and then on the other side you'll go ahead and push that right back in and then pull that out at the same time. And then as for this guy, we'll just basically kind of do the same thing. Just push like right there. Get in there. And just like that. So now we have the ABS cable kind of freely moving. And then for this guy right here, we'll just kind of just push it. Just kind of twist it back and forth. And then you'll pull the cable towards you and then pull away so that we don't damage this guy. And then now we're going to go ahead and take off the sway bar end link. I'm going to be using an impact gun, but I'm just going to kind of give you an idea how the setup would be. So basically you would have this like that, and then you would have your wrench holding it. And then obviously one's going to be tightening, so you're going to have this in the tighten position, and then obviously you're going to loosen one, or either vice versa. So I didn't catch that. So basically, as you're loosening this, or as you're tightening this, the Allen side, this will be loosening the nut. And you just keep doing that until it pops right off. and then you'll just pull that back. Sometimes you need to pull down on the sway bar end link or the sway bar itself just by pushing down on this bracket, or you can kind of hit it with a hammer. Just like that. And then this is what I hit on, so this will be the sway bar itself. So now we're going to go ahead and take off these bolts. Before you take these guys off, make sure that you mark the bolt, because I believe this one might have a camber adjustment. I don't know yet, not until I take it off. So usually the upper ones will have like a little indentation on it. So we'll go ahead and mark this one with the knuckle itself. So I'm going to be using a Bix whiteout pen. It's actually a pretty great pen to be using. So again, we'll go ahead and mark right here. And then we'll get it as close as possible. It's right there, so we'll mark the tip of the bolt, and then right here on the knuckle itself. Bolt doesn't look like it has any adjustment, so you should be good on not marking it, but just in case I would mark it. So now that we have that out the way, nothing's attached to the shock, we're going to go ahead and take it, unbolt it from up top. And so to take off these bolts, you're going to be using a 14 millimeter. And then also make sure you mark the top hat. So just in case if there's any adjustments that doesn't need to be made or something. Then once you take off all the bolts, on the bottom the shock is going to drop. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do the R&R. Basically, the next part is going to go ahead and be reinstalling the shock or the strut. But if you want to see how to change out the spring, I will make another separate video on that. This will be specifically for this vehicle, but the video would be more like a universal type, but at least you will understand it because it will be for this one. But this one's just so bent. As you can see, it's pretty angled, just from this collision. As you can see, the whole spring type is just, it's all shot and bent. Go ahead and put in the strut tower. So basically what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna grab the strut just like this, slide it in just like that while holding it at the same time, and then I'm gonna screw in one nut, and then as soon as I get that one in, then I'll go ahead and tighten that into the other bolt holes line up, and I'll go ahead and put those other nuts in. Now you want to make sure that this guy lines up with this piece, because if not, obviously it's just gonna be a little bit more difficult, but I'm pretty sure it's doable. Alright, so pretty much we'll have this connected, we'll connect this, and then we'll plug this guy right back in, and then make sure everything's nice and fitted. The way how I seated in the spindle knuckle into the strut is basically I kind of like twisted it back and forth. I needed to make sure that this was aligned, and then I just kind of rocked it back and forth. I used my knees on the bottom. You could put a rag on your knees, and then as you lift it up and hold that in place where you put the bolt through. And then we'll go ahead and put this guy down. So we're gonna push down on here and then pull towards in. So you want to make sure these are pretty tight. And then when you tighten the bolts, you want to go in the star pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions regarding these jobs. And then if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos. And thanks for watching.